talking about he's such a great Republican. Well, they ought to just start their little leaks and let out stuff about old Ronnie. If they don't, we're going to let them out anyway. It'd be better for them to let them out. Just let out a leak here, let them follow up, then they'll find out the rest themselves. So, what I mean is, Iran does not have to be a victim of America. Well, we're going to change. We're not going to. We see y'all have taken care of everything you said you would on this nuclear 5+1, or whatever, 6+6. They did everything. Well, we ain't going to do nothing. In fact, we're going to put some more stuff on y'all. Well, it's not a republic, don't have to take that. I think the diplomats have a problem. And what we have to do is we have to help them. We have to help them. First of all, let's call what they have. The diplomats have what we call, and some of the Shia leadership in the U.S. have, remember what we call the Jonah complex? I read a little bit about Jonah from two views of this is the biblical Jonah. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness has come before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare. Therefore he went down into it, and to go with them into Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea to lighten it. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy God. If so, be that God will think upon us, and we not perish. So imagine the situation. Now, in the other it talks about the great city of Nineveh. It said it was 3 days marches. It took 3 days to march around, and they give a lot. It was a big city, and some say the city itself was 120,000 people, which was big then. But the suburbs and everything was, they say, 175 persons. The Hebrew text makes no distinction between the city proper, the walls of which were only about 8 miles in circumference, accommodating a population of about 175,000 persons, and the administrative district of Nineveh, which was about 30 to 60 miles across. Big joint. And it's 120,000 children who don't know their right hand or their left. So, the Jonah complex is running away from the best within yourself. We always use it for the Negro because it seems like Allah gives all people some great talent and some abilities that if they use it correctly, they will really prosper and develop. In this case, we're using for the Iranian diplomats. The military is pretty much on the money. The parliament is doing pretty well. The Rahbar is definitely on the money. And many of the ulama and the Guardian Council and all those are working. The government of the Islamic Republic probably works better than any I've seen. It definitely works better than this one. They don't believe that, but when you look at it working, and they have a few little arguments about, but if you look at Bulgaria and Middle East, I mean, in Central Asia and then Eastern Europe, you ever watch the news? Them guys be fighting on a regular basis. I mean, they be fist fighting, grabbing each other.
In the parliament.
You know what I mean? They don't be playing.
Right.
Okay, I meant to say that the Jonah complex is affecting the Shia leadership here in the United States and in the diplomatic corps. What I mean is, there's some inferiority complexes. See, when I used to go around talking that gangster talk, I mean, my job was to fire everybody up, and you know what? I meant it. And yet the other thing is, in those darkest days, I believed every bit of it, and everything that I told them happened. The Russian bear gonna fall. This is in '84. We're gonna hang that bear up and halal that bear. Bear means halal, as long as you send it through the right process. The Russian bear, of course. That's 1984, and pretty soon that bear was halal. Right? It was halal. Okay. A lot of our brothers didn't really believe they had the war going on. You got to look at it, the war going on. Everybody against Iran. They now, after '83, they're using poison gas. They're cut off from everything. It is a miracle of survival. That's what it is. So all of a sudden, they look up and they survived. Not only did it survive, but it has the best economy in the region. It's developing the best roads and infrastructure, and it is independent. And God helps it on every occasion, because when they want to lick some behind and what have you, the American government blunts they butt kissing. Just like Rouhani and all those people in the last couple of months ago election. Trump goes there and put a black eye on butt kissing. And they make everything the Rahbar said. I told you, he don't sell it. I told you guys. And then us, you got to remember what we told them. You got to remember, this all on the lectures. We told them clearly, if, okay, you got to make a deal, as soon as you make the deal, give them a big handshake and a big hug and cut their throat. Do y'all remember that? Because they're going to cut yours. They don't have the nerve to do that right now. That's good. I mean, it's good that they stick to their word. But you don't, when they are obviously taking criminal actions, you have a responsibility to defend your people. But more important than defense right now is offensive. Is Iran shaping the future? When I say I mean the far future now, like the mid-21st century. In order to do that, they have to have their own joint chiefs of staff. They have to have the organized power of the Islamic Republic used for the opportunities that present themselves at all times. Like when you win the victory, you go and you take all the weapons. Okay. There's one victory after another. So, in the United States, we're going to do our part. Because we feel that we have to shape in this region. We have to be associated with shaping the environment of America, because this is our watch. Now, we don't blame anyone whether they help us or don't help us, because we did the things that we do them because of the spectacle, because we think that they're the right thing to do. And many of the things that we do and say right now in these programs, we know that there presents an uneasiness or a diseasiness with some of our allies of the past. But you have to remember, none of our allies came forward on any of these, like right now, for the last 4 years, all this stuff happening. It's been clear what's been going on. We had to call people in Canada 100 times to get the articles. You know, now, the plan was clear. We're going to trap America. We're going to make act a fool. And then, when they act a fool in front of everybody, we're going to come and there'll be present, there'll be press TV. Our allies will expose them over and over again, which we got them. They had the rights. They didn't do that. They could have did 100, they did 5. I had a couple of speeches on that, but never no detail, never no time to help them. See, some of our brothers in diplomacy, they have their view of what things should happen. But they got to cooperate with the military, they have to cooperate with the parliament, and the parliament, they have to develop a vision of who they are, where we are now, and where we want to go. And where we want to take the world. God didn't gave them that. They didn't earn that. That's happening right now. Islamic Republic is doing very well. It is independent. But it is doing it, it has to come up to par. I would say our diplomats in Iran right now are doing like Ikhwan. They're evolving, but they're evolving behind the curve. They're evolving too slow because their mind is still in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They're into their clique instead of Islam. Okay, we evolved past cliquism 3-4 cycles ago. Negro, we've been past that, but they're not. Proof of that is all of our friends. I mean, we stuck it out back to back, and nobody was with us. Nobody. And now they have a clique, and if they tell one of the brothers, we want you to ignore Imam Musa, we want you to do this, that, they do it. Okay? Now, when the white man comes to me, well, you know, we, like me and them. And them, those Iranians. I said, us? Me and you? I said, y'all almost took me to the penitentiary. You know, the Iranians took me in the penitentiary. What are you talking about, us? Well, they. I said, what about they? You know, they're talking to we are Americans. Is that right? That's good. Very, very good. That's a good concept. When I was at the UN last time, sitting by the elevator, with the vice president over there at Adams, the Bangladeshi guy. Everybody came down the stairs. It was part of the elevator. Imam Musa, they was all on the staff. The staff in the UN, staff over here in the Daftar, the staff and ambassadors all over the world from Iran. I know many of them. Okay. I looked at what we're doing as us. Well, we're doing our part here in America. And you can make suggestions, but we know what to do for you here in America. Okay? Now, when I tell them this is what you ought to do on my behalf, they ought to have enough sense to know that I know what I need here in America. And just like on those lectures in South Africa, I was telling them, the people there, you have to have confidence in the people you're working with, that they know what they're doing. Okay, these Iranians, they evidently think their clique knows more about what to do here and around the world. And they don't, they don't know. The reason they don't know is because they have not evolved. They still in the clique. We're going to get our guys in. We're going to overwhelm the State Department or the diplomatic corps, which they have. And they're going to do whatever. I'm not saying they police, but the program coincides. One thing is the FBI and the government will tell me, we don't like what you're doing with the Iranians. I don't care what you like. Just what's the line here? I remember on some of the flyers I was reading that was at Dallas. Well, look at Samuel Ariane. You're raising money inside of America. That's fine. As long as you don't send it to him outside of America. Same thing with Iran. You see what I mean? So I have to know that if they say Hezbollah is a bad guy, okay, I'm not going to send Hezbollah nothing. But they're going to get all the support that we can give them. But I'm not going to send nothing physically. One, they don't need nothing physically from me. But the government will tell the Iranians, we don't like what you do with Imam Musa. And they'll listen to him. That's their problem. It's okay. You got to remember. Okay, let's get back to the point. Diplomats and the Jonah complex. Our mission right now is like, we call it suicide prevention. Yeah. Suicide prevention. We have to prevent the diplomatic corps from committing suicide.
Suicide watch.
Suicide watch. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing when we talk to them, we tell them, look. If they don't have confidence in psychological guerrilla warfare, which they said over and over again, we have to see something tangible. I say, you ain't getting nothing tangible. I'm telling you, psychological guerrilla warfare is the way to go. Now let me show you how it's working. That's not tangible. I said, it's too bad. The last time I talked to them there, that's what I told them. They've been hitting for 3 or 4 times. Like they have what they want. And I know what works here. Let's look at institutes. You know, these do-nothing people, they in the institute, this institute, institute, the AMC, that institute. I said, we don't need no study. We don't need no research. We don't need to research what's going on. We already know, but we've been talking about it, doing it, and acting on it for decades. So they bugged one brother for years, so he came up with Islamic Institute for Counter-Zionist American Psychological Warfare. He spent his own money, he did his own remodeling, he did it on, and they opened up. And they said, well, it didn't get anywhere. I said, didn't get anywhere by behind. I said, you're not watching these white folks, you're not watching nothing. I said, we would have a nice dinner there, and 10, 12 people, 15 people would come. But did you watch Steve Emerson's Terrorist Watch line, whatever you know, Steve Emerson? He put flyers, it was strategic management, it was counter-revolutionary psychological warfare supreme. When you don't fire a shot, and they splatter everything you put out, right? That's psychological warfare supremo. I said, tangible? I said, okay, forget it. I said, you don't understand. But now, this ayat again that we're constantly reading, let me go over it again. Believers, taqullah, fear Allah, say words aimed at the truth. Say words directed to the truth. Say words that are unambiguous, that are clear, that are concise. Say words that are not cloaked in mysticism, so nobody knows what you're talking about, right? That's what our goal is, and that's the reason we're doing what we're doing now. So we advise our brothers, and we're proud, I say it again over, we're proud of the Islamic Republic of Iran, but it has to evolve more because the world is more demanding now. We've got through our periods of so-called war, we've got through our periods of instability and insecurity. Now that the main producer of food and oranges and apples and vegetables and everything in that region is Iran. And can't nobody else in that region feed themselves but Iran. In fact, Iran exports things to the rest of the region. Good quality products. So Iran is independent. Now, here comes America with more sanctions. Are those sanctions bad or good? They are great. Number one, the Islamic Republic is innocent on everything. Number two, they're illegal, but it forces them to become more internally productive, more independent. And they're already on the ascending curve already in production. They're already doing their own drones for the last 5, 10 years. They're already, you know what I mean? They got Imam Khomeini Space Center. You know what I mean? They're on the road. They're on the road. Okay. So, our suicide prevention means that we want to invoke counter-Jonah complex activities with our brothers. Because some of them that were educated here, they respect the system here too much. And what al-Taqullah means, one of the translations is, O you believe, be in awe of Allah and speak the right word. They're not in all Allah. They're not in all their own leadership. They're in all of America. Okay. Now, the other thing is, like we have to teach people, Iran can now teach the world that all of these things that we're talking about are possible and they're real. Here they are. Syria has survived. Aleppo has survived. We're cleaning house in Syria. Pretty soon it'll be clean. Iraq will be clean. You know, you got Saudi Arabia. I looked at the thing the other day. They invited Musa from Iraq. Good God Almighty. Iraq. Look, Saudi Arabia done threatened Qatar, and Qatar haven't blinked at all. What y'all talking about? And that's big boys. That's Egypt. That's Saudi Arabia. That's the Gulf states there. Now Kuwait is taking kind of quiet. Everything is chipping away. It's Saudi Arabia. You see the films of the poor little people in Yemen? It's because of Saudi Arabia. Because of Saudi Arabia. Okay. So, they don't deal with the October surprise, we will. We're going to try to teach our brothers to evolve in front of the curve. The way you evolve in front of the curve is through visualization. Visualize yourself way out there. When we say visualization for us, we see ourselves managing and putting together in real life time the Majlis Ashura Islamiyya fi America. We're visualizing it. We're seeing it work. They have to see. One of the things that I've noticed in Iran is there was not a national, let's call it a national vision. Who we are, where we want to go, what assets do we have, and how do we want to shape, how do we want to exercise the power and ability that we have. Nonviolent resistance, an alternative system, that's what we'll be using here, and we'll explain it to everyone a little later. Nonviolent transformation, nonviolent transcendence. Just like what, if you say a word that's straight and clear and true, taqullah, and you fear Allah, and you exercise this doing and saying the truth, Allah will forgive you your sins, and will that moving toward truth, which is difficult, will enhance your behavior and make, since you are saying the right thing, which is difficult, Allah will align your talk with your behavior. That's what the ayat says. Strategic alliance, Russia, Iraq, Syria, Hezbollah, Iran, and many other people. Iran is not by itself. So we're not saying that the diplomatic corps, no, we're saying that it should be more bold, not reckless. In some ways bold, in some ways receptive. If they fly over in Iranian airspace, just record it, take pictures, do everything, get a long list of, they've been doing this all the time. Then just publicize and say, hey, are they trying to start a war with us or something? But you don't have to, see, Iran is strong enough, it don't have to defend like before it would say, we not putting, you ain't bullying us, you ain't, and that was good to let everybody know. You don't have to do that.
They don't have to be reactionary.
No, they don't react, they don't have to be. And how did we get where we are? Non-reactionaries. Everything that happened to us was tried to force us to react. But that delay is so beautiful. Good God, okay. We must write the book of the future. Because because the book is not in the library. Sounds funny. We got to write the book on the future. Can you imagine that we can write the book on the future? That's what goals and plans are. You have goals and plans. See, Star Trek within Star Trek, that was not written how you're going to do it. How we manipulated strategic management and bamboozled and misled and technically whipped the snot out of old Sam, there was no book on it, there was no text on it. Therefore, they can't figure out what we're going to do because they said, what could they be doing? So all they could do is the same old stuff, try to force us to get into a fight. And can you imagine how dumb that stuff looked from 3 and 4 and even 2, or even a year ago? How dumb that looked. Trying to get us into a fight and then putting it on the thing because they got a short vision. This is what this looks like now. We're going to embarrass that man. They embarrassed themselves. We're going to ruin Gaddafi, and they ruin their whole region. We don't want no more Muslims. Oh, it's bad for the euro. Super bad. Why? The Europeans not having too many children anymore. And a whole it's like a fresh bunch of Mexicans in California, and the white people are they are a minority now. White people don't have too many kids. And the Mexicans have 3, 4, 5, on and on and on. So pretty soon, it's clear. The Germans, the Swedes, all of them, that materialism takes them away from them. They're too busy. Can you imagine who wants to have sex at the time of the thing like that? Can we have a little sex, baby? Just wait a minute here. How about we just text each other? I'll text you a little sex, right? I'll text you this, ooh, baby, how you like that? No, I want the real thing. Well, we can't, I have time now. But the Arabs ain't doing that. They having children. They already starting to move, right? The population, the demographics, all of that. The whole world is headed our way. Like in America, we're choosing our, remember what the writer said, you will ride from stage to stage, and that ride will deliver you that vehicle